This e-portfolio is a capstone project that fulfills the final project requirement for the completion of the Masters of Education Technology, MET, from the University of British Columbia. It also meets the requirements for the Teacher Qualification Service Class 6 category. This capstone project will demonstrate what I have learned about the theories of learning and research in the field of technology and education. Through the use of artifacts from the courses and reflections on these artifacts, this e-portfolio will be an online demonstration of my learning progression as I made my way through the MET program. In this video, I will provide an overview on how to easily navigate the site. Secondly, I will share the overriding theme that shapes the organization of this site. This e-portfolio was constructed using Wix.com. The landing page is a title with my name. To enter, simply click Enter. The first page you come to is the About page. Here I give an introduction of who I am and why I chose to take the Master of Education program at UBC. As a high school teacher in a rural setting with decreased enrollment, our school has been turning more and more to technology and online learning to provide the same level of academic enrichment to our students. The MET program at UBC was a perfect fit for what I needed to learn to help my students. Next is the metaphor, likening my learning journey to the life cycle of a salmon. In the menu, you can see that I broke my learning stages down into the egg, elven fry, smolt, maturing adult, and spawning adult. At the bottom of the page, I have also included pictures for the egg fry, smolt, maturing adult, and spawning adult. After the metaphor follows purpose, which I covered in the introduction, and then the audience. The primary audience of my e-portfolio are the two UBC MET professors who will evaluate the final product, MET peers and future students, colleagues, educators, and other professionals in the field of education. To navigate my site, you can either click on the stages at the top that will bring you to each stage, or follow the buttons along the bottom that will take you in sequential order through the courses. So stage 1, the egg, elven, and fry stage. Here I relate how I felt my learning journey was similar to a young salmon developing from an egg to a free-swimming fry. I started this journey not knowing much at all about the possible uses of technology in education, and relied heavily on past knowledge, but as time progressed I started venturing out of my comfort levels as the MET program introduced me to new learning theories and technologies. Following in sequential order, I listed the courses numerically. Each course page follows a similar pattern: title, introduction about what the course was about, my artifact that I chose, and reflections about the course and artifact. You'll also notice that most artifacts have some sort of a download, either a PDF or a Word document of either the transcript if it's a video, or PDF of the actual assignment. 511 includes an actual link that will take you to the website that was created. Again with 512, Artifact 1 is a link to the website that was created, as well as a downloadable PDF for the lesson plan critique. Stage 2. At this point in my MET journey, I felt I understood the basics of what technology and education was going to entail, but there was still so much more to learn. Here I learned more about the hows and whys of the learning process and how these can be aided or hindered with technology. I was changing and adapting my education pedagogies from what I thought I knew before to the new possibilities I was learning about. Here I have included an actual class output from the lesson plan critique that I created during the course, that I used with my Biology 11 class in school. Two artifacts with the downloadables, video with a transcript downloadable, and my reflections. Stage 3, maturing adult. At this point in my journey, I felt I was like a young salmon venturing into the vast ocean as I moved from learning about what other people had studied and done to creating my own works. Of course, there were many crash and burns and few near misses, but on the whole I feel I came out with some artifacts I was very proud of. This was the first major video I created completely by myself as a solo project. I talked to the artists directly and was able to learn about the symbology of totem poles and tried to create a video to express or demonstrate the learning and language within these poles. With every course that I took with the MET program, I was exposed to new apps and new technologies, programs I had never seen before. This was an example of trying something completely new and creating a digital story from that. This last group project sums up nearly every positive experience I had during the MET program. All 6 members created this mini learning cohort that helped and supported each other throughout the project as well as for the entire course. Every time I've worked with groups, I have learned new aspects of programs that I never knew existed before. It was also during this project that my personal philosophy education started to solidify. Micro-learning, the chunking of information and scaffolding built upon prior knowledge, along with the group experience creating the project, showed me exactly how I want to teach my students. I like the idea of students learning small pieces of information individually and then sharing with each other. This is basically Vygotsky's constructivism, where knowledge is built upon doing as well as having social aspect where this knowledge is shared. Stage 4, the spawning adult. This e-portfolio is the capstone and end result of my MET transformative learning journey. Here I've culminated artifacts as examples of my learning and development throughout the project. ETEC 590, the graduating project. During my journey through the MET program at UBC, my beliefs and philosophies around education have developed, changed, and clarified. Theories and pedagogies surrounding constructivism resonate with me the most. The MET program also taught me how different aspects of technology can help embellish these learning strategies. Student collaboration and sharing has become a large focus in my classroom now. I've also included the proposal for my e-portfolio. Next is all the references used in the creation of my e-portfolio. Not for the artifacts though, each artifact has its own reference section. And lastly is the assessment rubric. This has been a brief overview of my e-portfolio capstone project for the MET program at the University of British Columbia.